It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Wednesday Night Dynamite is live tonight on TBS and HBO Max, also streaming on My AEW. And we have we were promised as the Fallout show for AEW Revolution this past Sunday, which was absolutely fantastic and might even be in the front running by a landslide for Show of the Year. I don't know how WrestleMania is going to follow Revolution, but by God, they got a lot. They need a lot to do so. We were promised by Tony Khan that tonight will be an insane episode of Wednesday Night Dynamite, and we have 3 matches so far, possibly 4, that are confirmed for tonight. And it is about 5:15 as I'm recording this, so we are still just over 2, almost 3 hours away from the showtime. So we're going to get right on into the AEW Dynamite preview for Wednesday, March 18th, 2026, right here on Sleeper Sports Media. And this is presented by Canva. Also, shout out to No Dirt Sheets for the Surfshark VPN link. With Surfshark VPN, you can go and buy My AEW and watch Dynamite, Collision, and the pay-per-views all in one spot with MyAEW.com. You will need a VPN, preferably Surfshark, to help support No Dirt Sheets, because that is AEW.com is only for the international fans. Everyone else will have to watch on HBO Max, YouTube, or Amazon Prime Video. That is, of course, pay-per-view. Prime Video is going to be about $50, and then HBO Max, you can get it for $40 if you have HBO Max and are buying it directly through HBO Max. Now, without further ado, we're going to jump on into AEW Dynamite tonight on TBS. They are in Fresno, California. It is the Fallout show from Revolution on Sunday live from Crypto.com Marina. There's a couple other things I want to talk about that was mentioned in the press conference that I stayed up until about 2 o'clock is when I tapped out from that one. But the press conference started off with what led to this first matchup that we're going to talk about, which is Gabe Kidd versus Darby Allin in a Coffin match. Now, Darby Allin, Tony Khan, and Renee Paquette were out to start the press conference, and out comes Gabe Kidd. He starts cussing about everyone, New Japan, AEW, Tony Khan, everybody. And then he ended it with, especially Darby Allin, demanded that Tony Khan give Darby Allin to him in a Coffin match. I heard him say unsanctioned. I was in the kitchen whenever I heard this start, so I missed the whole first part of it. But Darby Allin, Gabe Kidd tonight in a Coffin match. This is the 7th Coffin match in AEW, and Darby Allin has been in all 7 of them. So this is quite up Darby's alley. Our next match is Marina Shaffir and Toni Storm. They just had everyone banned from ringside match at Revolution, and we saw the debut of Ronda Rousey after Toni Storm would pick up the win. We get these two running it back on Wednesday night tonight, March 18th in Fresno, California, live on TBS in a no-holds-barred match. We don't know the status of Ronda Rousey, if she'll be there tonight with Toni Storm and the Death Riders. We don't know the status of her going forward. Tony Khan, all he had to say about this was that Ronda's a good friend of Marina and was asked to have the backup, and they abided by the rules for the match, which is everyone is banned from ringside during the match, and then after the match, of course, Ronda made her presence known, quote-unquote, for Tony Khan, and then made her AEW debut. Tony did also mention about the mega fight that she has on Netflix coming up in May. So we're just under a month away from that. Most Valuable Promotions, Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano. That will be on Netflix, which is very interesting to see how that goes down with Netflix putting on the fight but being close with WWE. So more on that in a video coming up later today. Tony did say that he was invited to the fight, so that's going to be super interesting to see as well. But Ronda Rousey potentially making come back to the squared circle in AEW, which I think would be absolutely incredible. That is our second matchup of the night. Our third match, of course, will be Will Ospreay, who just returned from a double fusion neck surgery. Returned after the Jon Moxley match, defeating Takeshita and for the AEW Continental Championship. Will Ospreay will be in action tonight. He will take on Blake Christian in singles action, and that is, of course, going to be very interesting to see him come back. He had the surgery in, was it November, I believe it was, and then he was cleared in February, made his return at Revolution. So this is his first match back in quite some time for Will Ospreay and the Aerial Assassin. There was other returns at Revolution. We already talked about those in the recap show for Revolution, and more on that in another video coming out later today. Similar to the episode I did last week that did really, really well with talking about Tony Khan and the media call leading up to Revolution about the Paramount Plus deal and everything of that with Warner Bros. Discovery merging with Paramount and everything under that umbrella. AEW Dynamite again, it's tonight, TBS, 8/7 Central, streaming on HBO Max. Of course, myaew.com you can get with a Surfshark VPN. Using that VPN being Surfshark to support No Dirt Sheets, as always. And that is pretty much going to do it for AEW Dynamite preview right here on Sleeper Sports Media. I'm Nick Wietosh for Sleeper Sports Media, presented by Canva, the AEW Dynamite Wednesday night preview, March 18th, 2026. Thank you for watching, viewing, and subscribing. Here we go.